if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too.
If you asked Angel Reese why people are watching women's basketball in 2025, she wouldn't hesitate. She'd look directly into the camera, flip her curls, and say with all the confidence in the world, because of me. Not just because of Caitlin Clark. Not because of Aya Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, or any of the legends who laid the foundation. No, Angel believes she is the reason. When people look back in 20 years, she once said, they're going to realize it's not just about one person. It's because of me, too. But that moment of self-proclaimed greatness has now come full circle, dragging behind it a trail of bricks, missed layups, and a growing list of receipts that fans, analysts, and even her most loyal defenders are struggling to ignore. The All-Star votes are in. And Angel Reese didn't just miss the cut. She didn't make the top 10. Not even close.
For the wildly overrated and shockingly underrated Angel Reese. I saw on X, formerly
the same Angel Reese whose name has been trending all season long. The self-proclaimed face of the WNBA was nowhere to be found on the league's biggest stage. No honorary slot. No fan-fueled push. No league-saving narrative. Nothing. So what happened? Let's go back. For the better part of 2 years, mainstream media has been working overtime to frame Angel Reese as a transcendent star. She was labeled box office the moment she left LSU. Social media followings were cited like MVP stats. Her tunnel fits were cataloged like Vogue editorials. Her attitude was branded iconic, and her fierce on-court presence marketed as the kind of swagger women's basketball needed. She was Barbie, they said, a nickname she eagerly embraced. But the thing about Barbie is...
What's crazy is in the beginning of LeBron James' career, they said he was too nice. They say he wasn't cocky enough. That's the thing that we love about
Barbie doesn't play defense. Barbie doesn't box out. Barbie doesn't shoot 2-for-11 on national television and then post cryptic Instagram stories about haters. Barbie doesn't get benched. Let's be honest. The All-Star snub wasn't a surprise to anyone who's been watching actual basketball. Angel Reese has had a start to the season that can only be described as chaotic. On one night, she's pulling down 12 rebounds with pure hustle and grit. On another, she's missing bunnies at point-blank range and chucking up shots that look like they were launched with oven mitts. The inconsistency isn't just jarring, it's becoming the norm. There was the 4-point, 2-rebound embarrassment against a Fever team without Caitlin Clark, where the Sky lost 79-52 in their own building. Angel's presence in that game felt more like an afterthought than a centerpiece.
Hate her. Hate her because she's cute. Hate her because of her rebound. And then what got to her was the whole me bounds thing, where people are saying that most of her rebounds.
She wasn't double-teamed. She wasn't game-planned against. She was just invisible. Yet somehow, Angel believes she should be celebrated. And she's not shy about letting us know. It's not just the confidence. It's the constant proclamations of self-made greatness. I'm the reason they're watching, she said again recently. As if we'd forgotten. As if a triple single on a Wednesday night somehow demanded our attention. And what's worse? She says it with a straight face. Compare that to Caitlin Clark. The actual reason the league is selling out arenas. The reason average viewership is up. The reason people who had never watched a WNBA game in their lives are now glued to the screen. But you won't catch Clark saying that. Not once. Because true stars let their game do the talking. Let's call it what it is. Angel's been coasting on hype. On a brand. On the cultural moment she helped build in college. Her rivalry with Caitlin Clark brought eyeballs to the NCAA tournament, no doubt. But while Clark has elevated her play to match the moment, Reese seems stuck in a loop of Fashion Week fits, social media wars, and underwhelming stat lines. At times, her performances look less like basketball and more like interpretive dance. Missed layups, half-hearted closeouts, clunky mid-range bricks, and a defensive posture that can only be described as vaguely interested. One game she's a -25. Another game she's putting up 9 points and calling it dominance. A highlight reel of her season would play more like a blooper reel, with one exception, the rebounding. Yes, she's a great rebounder. That's the hill her supporters die on. But let's examine that, too. Angel Reese is taller than most guards in the league. She camps under the basket like she's waiting for an Uber Eats delivery. Rebounding, for her, often involves standing in the right place at the right time and letting the ball fall into her lap. That's not exactly Rodman-level positioning. It's gravity. And if you ask the analytics, a lot of those rebounds come off her own missed shots. Thus, the now infamous nickname, Mebounds. And yes, she trademarked that too. But the All-Star votes weren't fooled by vibes. Fans, coaches, and players saw what was happening. They saw a player more concerned with being seen than with showing up. They saw someone trying to leapfrog the hard part of becoming a star, the work, the consistency, the humility, and skip right to the legacy. Angel Reese came into the WNBA acting like the league was lucky to have her. But as the weeks go by, it's becoming clear she needs to catch up to it. That's not hate. That's not trolling. That's truth. The All-Star Game is a showcase of performance. It's not about tunnel fits or tweet counts. It's about who's producing, who's putting in work, who's giving fans something they can't miss. Right now, Angel Reese isn't in that conversation. She's not even in the neighborhood. Meanwhile, players like Clark are out here getting fouled, shoved, targeted, and still performing like seasoned vets. Dropping dimes, hitting deep threes, and moving crowds without saying a word. That's how you earn your place. What makes it worse is Angel's reaction to the snub. Instead of taking it on the chin, refocusing, and hitting the gym, she doubled down. Subtle jabs on social media. Posts celebrating mediocre stats. Another round of cryptic tweets suggesting jealousy and hate. But the only hate anyone's sending is directed at underperformance. And here's the twist, even her fans are starting to go silent. The same people who declared her the next are now peeking through their fingers during games, hoping she won't embarrass herself on a national broadcast. The hype machine that once followed her every move has slowed to a crawl. Some fans don't even bother watching her games anymore. They just follow her Instagram and call it a day. That's not superstardom. That's celebrity without substance. And yet, despite everything, there's still a faction yelling, she's changing the culture. But what culture are we talking about? One where vibes and TikTok moments matter more than stats and defense? Where a good outfit is worth more than a good game? If this is the culture, it's broken. The WNBA is full of women grinding every night, putting up 20-point double-doubles, locking down the league's best scorers, taking hits, sacrificing glory for wins. But they don't make the headlines. Why? Because they're not calling themselves the reason we're watching. They just are the reason. Here's the thing about sports, they're brutally honest. There's no way to fake greatness. You either produce, or you don't. And no amount of PR spin, stylish selfies, or slick interviews will change what happens between the lines. Right now, Angel Reese isn't just being outperformed, she's being exposed. Not as a fraud, but as a work in progress. As someone who bought into her own hype a little too early. Who thought the WNBA spotlight would be the same as the college glow. But the pros are different. They don't care what you did last year. They care what you're doing right now. And right now, she's a triple single machine, clinging to narratives while the league moves forward without her. That doesn't mean she's done. It means the clock is ticking. If Angel Reese wants to be taken seriously, the transformation needs to start now. She has the physical tools, the marketability, the charisma. But she needs to bring the game, the actual game. She needs to become more than a walking brand. She needs to become a basketball player that demands all-star consideration by performance, not personality. Until then, her all-star dreams will remain just that, dreams. Because in the WNBA, the scoreboard doesn't care how many followers you have. It doesn't care how many headlines you generate or how many phrases you've trademarked. It cares about points, rebounds, defense, leadership, grit. The league is watching. Fans are watching. And for now, they're still waiting. Waiting for the moment Angel Reese finally delivers on all that promise. Waiting for her to prove that she deserves a seat at the table with the real greats. Waiting for her to stop talking and start dominating. Because if she doesn't, The only thing people will remember in 20 years is that she could have been something special, and instead, she chose to play dress-up with greatness. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Angel Reese is being unfairly criticized, or has the league simply passed her by? Should she focus less on being Barbie and more on being a baller? Drop your thoughts below, like this video, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. The drama is far from over, and the truth is just getting started.